Boston Herald columnist and radio host Steve Buckley has seen the age of Belichick up close and throughout, and ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck understands the dynamic of coach and quarterback well. All right, maybe a little bit of X's and O's, but if he has discovered this, and I'll ask you in a second what this is, how come everybody else is not doing this?
Because I don't know that anyone has really gotten a glimpse into, obviously he's had assistants, but he's had assistants that have gone in and tried to take those X's and O's other places. Charlie Weiss tried it, Bill O'Brien's trying to do it. I mean, Josh McDaniels has tried to do it. Even guys like Romeo Crennel that have been on his staff and know him well. So I don't think it's as easy as just taking a system and applying the system. I think what he does a tremendous job of is identifying players, you alluded to it, Bob, of how he knows that it's going to, Wes Welker will work in his system, how Julian Edelman will work in his system, how Troy Brown will work with what he wants to do. I think identifying what a player's strengths are one of his biggest, that's one of his biggest gifts.
So Buck, your take, having watched the entire years up close, this age of Belichick, the magic of it, your take on the key.
You know what? I just want to say this one thing. As far as Bill Belichick goes, everything goes back to The Godfather. And Senator Pat Geary from the state of Nevada, where he intentionally mispronounces Michael Corleone's name as Michael Corleone. That's what Bill Belichick does with all the Facebook and all that stuff. He knows exactly what that stuff is. He knows exactly what's going on with his team. And also, like Larry Lucchino used to be with the Red Sox, he knows exactly how to put the right person in the right job. There's a reason Ivan Fears has been there all these years. There's a reason Dante Scarnecchia came back. There's a reason why a lot of his assistants have done very well in the role in which they've performed, but maybe didn't perform as a head coach elsewhere. He's very good at delegating and getting that whole group together.
So you've got this partnership between these two men for the length of Brady's time in the league, coming in as a sixth rounder, as we told agelessly, and Belichick, of course, off the Browns experience. Does this Belichickian genius extend beyond the time of Brady? He says 45.
Right.
Belichick's in his mid to late 60s now. How much more tread on these tires?
Listen, in terms of Belichick coaching, I mean, I think Belichick, there's got to be an element for him, the competitor, the fact that he clearly loves doing this, where he's going to continue to do this even post-Brady. I mean, you think about Tom Coughlin, a guy that's just in his blood, doesn't want to leave the profession into his 70s. But I think in terms of can it extend beyond it, look, he's won with other guys at the position. There's no doubt it's the most important position.
Well,
and that's
showed it in September, right? 3-1.
For sure it did. And listen, look what Matt Castle did. I mean, there have been players that have had success at that position that weren't number 12. I mean, that has happened already.
What does he see that others don't? The this that he has captured, what does he see? Well, they all got the same tape. They all have the same rules. He's been guilty of, perceived as guilty as going up to the edge of the rule book on occasion. Put that to the side. What does he see that others don't?
I think it still comes back down to identifying what certain players do extremely well. I mean, you look at the offensive line, they still end up with guys that protect the franchise quarterback, and they're relatively all undrafted or unheralded. I just think there's an aspect of identifying what somebody does well and then featuring that. That's what they do offensively. Defensively, they talk about, hey, let's take away what the other team does well. Offensively, he identifies what they do well, and they really focus on that.
And adding much more definition than that, Steve Buckley, from outside. They built one wall, at least in this country. It's around the Patriots. Getting on the inside to find out the real story, that's a heck of a job.
Well, yeah, obviously Bill Belichick is very good at compartmentalizing, and it's what Tim said, putting the right person in the right job and getting certain guys and pulling the talent out of them. Randy Moss, when he was deemed washed up at the Oakland Raiders, and what he's done with guys like Julian Edelman and so forth, and bringing them in. But for those of us in the media, I mean, it's not like there are no fireside chats in Foxborough. Sometimes on Friday he'll do some X's and O's, and he's very well steeped in football history, and he'll share some of that. But he's not going to make anybody's job easier, media or rival coaches.
At this point, it's almost jousting back and forth, and each side knows what it is. I'll leave you guys so you can go post to my face at this moment. Steve Buckley, Tim Hasselbeck. Thanks, guys.